Comeuppance Network.
This is how to watch TV.
On Comeuppance Network. This is how to watch TV.
The Leftovers with Joel and Jeremy. My name's Joel.
I'm Jeremy. You can check out all of our social media sites at thishishowtowatchtv.com. And I forgot the first part. We are brought to you by Comeuppance Network.
Yep, you can find all that stuff at comeuppance.com as well. Yeah, we're back. Sorry, it's been a while. Whatever, you're watching this when you watch it, so you don't even know it's late. We're talking about Season 3, Episode 3 of The Leftovers, Crazy Whitefella Thinking. It's the synopsis was, with the clock ticking towards the anniversary of the departure and emboldened by a vision that is either divine prophecy or utter insanity, Kevin Garvey Sr. wanders the Australian outback in an effort to save the world from the apocalypse. Did you like the episode?
I mean, I really liked the first couple episodes of this show this season. But like this episode, I almost
Yeah.
got a little like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's
See,
just a
I
little
thought the
weird.
Matt episode was where you...
That too.
Now,
Like,
admittedly,
that,
we're
like,
talking a couple ahead. We have
was
seen
that-
ahead, but they don't relate to this episode.
But that's what I mean. Like that. Like what was the episode in between was good. Because that was like Kevin and...
The first episode was what? That was
The
one
one we're
where at the end Nora was old looking or whatever.
Right. And then the second episode was...
Book of Kevin.
Right. And then the third episode
This is the third episode.
This is the third episode.
Yes. So this is the dad wandering the outback.
Right.
Yeah.
And then...
4 is Nora. 5 is Matt.
Right. Nora and Kevin.
Right. Yeah, sorry.
In Australia.
Yeah. Well, people
So,
might
but
not
yeah,
be
I don't know.
watching-
Like,
I don't want to spoil too much
I
of that
listen.
for them.
I'm not trying to. Like, I guess I'll have to see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like, I hate it. I want to watch it. But like, it's just
Want
it
more
got a
season
little
2 stuff than...
It got a little weird. Season 2 was so good.
It was pretty spectacular. It's hard to, and again, I'm only comparing because it's him. If you look at each season of Lost, each season was so different from the previous season while still maintaining the character relationships in a similar way. But like the settings would change and like that's
I mean, yeah,
know.
understandable. I get it because you can't run the same thing. The same thing happens in The Walking Dead. I was just saying, like, you get to the third episode, and I mean, it was really out there, dude.
What, this one?
Yeah.
Well, it was an interesting journey though. Like
yes.
starting with Personal Jesus, I hated that fucking song.
But like I
opening
think they
one?
went a little like a lot of times they've managed to keep it a good balance to where you're like, is he crazy or is he fucking telling the truth? You know, like
Right.
this one, it was just like, wow, he's fucking nuts. You know, like,
But is he? You know, there's
know.
there's sides you could take where maybe he is following something. I'm leaning more towards with this whole thing now.
sorry.
Oh, whatever. I'm leaning more towards with this whole thing that everybody is just grasping at straws for anything to make sense out of it. They're still.
Well, yeah, still.
I mean, even the
How old is it?
Aborigines.
7 years later?
Even the Aborigines that are there doing those dances and shit. It feels like they're even doing that. You know, everybody is literally just trying to make sense of life.
Of what happened?
Well,
Do
even
you think
of that
those people,
too.
like, because those people are Aboriginal, those people have, like, no contact with actual, like, civilization. If you took the episode the right way, like,
Yeah.
he's not supposed to
He's
be
not
anywhere
supposed to go on their
fucking near
land.
them
Yeah,
at all.
exactly.
Especially filming their, like, they looked at it as stealing. He's filming
Yeah.
their dances and their things. Like, you're not supposed
Yep.
to do that, like, at all. Like, you can, like, yeah, that's like, you can get in trouble for that.
Yeah, I mean,
shit.
they obviously had his face up at the thing,
Right.
and he's like on
So,
some
like,
blacklist.
You can't. So, like, really, does he really believes like doing that dance is the way out?
I don't know. I have to talk.
Even if you are a little fucking weird,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, this is it. This is gonna save us. I mean, it's almost like Zorp, dude.
But it was all the things
Not to
that
reference
got
PNR in every
right.
fucking episode.
It was all the things that got him there that we found out in the episode, though, that got him to where he thought, where it could point him there. That's kind of what I'm saying. All these people are lost. They're just looking for fucking, like he's shouted at Christopher something. I totally forgot it. His last name, for whatever reason. Christopher Joseph or some shit.
He shouted at who?
It was shouting at him about he just wanted some fucking purpose. Like when he got to talk to the chicken. I mean, there's so many fucking things. Hold on, just let me go back to the very.
You're talking about the crazy looking black dude.
Yeah, I
the
have his
shaman or
name
whatever
written
his
in
name is?
here, Christopher something.
You just said Chris.
Yes.
And he ended up killing that guy.
Yeah, he accidentally fucking knocked the thing
Fell off
over
the roof.
him. Yeah.
Did he fall on him?
The ladder and yeah.
I thought he fell on top of it.
Right, but the ladder too, like was
Right.
in between them, and that
Right.
probably did. It didn't help the situation.
I mean, he was pretty old, I guess. Like a
Right.
normal, like me or you, might not die from it,
No,
depending
we
on if it unless it hit you, like broke your neck or something like
Right.
that. But like old dude like that, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
It's probably the end.
that's probably the. That's probably the. I fucking hated that's the opening song this week.
Oh,
The personal Jesus who was like fucking
it
jazzy and freeform and bullshit.
yeah, I didn't like
Fuck that style of music. I hate it.
No, like, okay, I get the different changes, but like for the Wu-Tang episode, like going back, I think that was like the last episode, episode 2.
Episode 2 was that was the
like,
one.
why didn't we
yeah.
get like some fucking Wu-Tang at the beginning?
At the beginning of that episode?
Yeah, like how come we didn't get a Wu-Tang
Because
song?
we got Perfect Strangers for Mark Lynn Baker.
Oh, see, I guess that was a conundrum there that they had to face. Like,
Right. So what they did, they settled by doing instead of
names.
doing Wu-Tang the name
the
generator.
Wu-Tang name generator.
Yeah. They settled on that thing. I mean, I'm just assuming that's the conversation.
I
that
get
they
it.
had.
Like, okay, but like, yeah, like, come on, like Triumph comes on. Doom, doom,
I mean,
doom,
I really wish it had been Perfect Strangers the whole season at this point. I popped so hard when that came. I was just like, yes.
I see. I had no idea that was that.
You
It
never
sounded
watched that
totally
show?
like Full House. I did,
Yeah.
not to a point of where I remember it.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I remember Corky, not Corky. What was his name?
Belky.
Belky was his name, right? The crazy
Cousin
like,
Larry. You
Yeah.
just do the bad, choppy English bullshit. I mean,
So
it's
racist.
probably bad. It's probably bad
so.
now.
Where was he from? So racist. I mean, you watch those
He
old
was from
shows, and you're like,
Mepos.
you watch those.
He was
you
from
wa-
an island called Mepos. I don't know how I remember that shit.
But like where though? Like it didn't say like.
That
it
was the
just-
point,
That
is
was
it's
it.
in the
Okay.
Mediterranean
So maybe
somewhere.
not racist, but racist. Like
Oh, stereotypical. That's the word you're looking for there. He was playing the stereotype. I don't know that that's fair. Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that
Right.
one. I kind of forgot that Kevin Sr. was the police chief during the departure.
yeah, that was
That
a
was
good
a
scene.
fucking badass
yeah,
shot
the
behind
whole
him there.
shit just hitting the fan around him, and him just standing there like.
Now, interestingly, he says 5 minutes after that, he started hearing voices.
Right. So, but not voices of people who departed, right?
Who
It was
knows?
just
he
voices.
doesn't know. He just
doesn't-
said,
they.
like he said recently, he started listening to them.
Them.
Yeah, they.
Right.
Oh, so he was listening to that tape with young Kevin on it, and he was talking about the ducks. And he was saying that the ducks go under long enough. They're not dead, and they always come back up. And it felt
Okay.
very reminiscent of what's going on with Kevin, where he's dying, but maybe he's not. I don't know. I'm sort of...
So weird, man.
There's so
like,
many weird references to that stuff that, like, it's the thing that keeps me intrigued about the show because, like you said, some of the stuff does seem pretty batshit crazy. But when you really look at the character motivations for the things, you can almost see why they do the things they do. You can almost get why Kevin Sr. thinks...
So why does Kevin put the plastic bag over his head and duct tape around his thing? Because he's trying to die? It's like, what does he think? Is he just trying to prove to himself that he can't die?
I don't
Like,
know.
What's his motivation for that?
That's a good question.
And you would think at that point, like, you'd be like, okay, I've gotten lucky a couple times now. Like, better not fucking play with this.
Well, but he said he tears it off every time, meaning he's not trying to kill himself there, but what is he trying to experience? See if he can go over there.
Get a glimpse
Do
or
you think
something,
it has
maybe?
something to do with the over there part of it when he's doing that?
And speak to whatever that dude was.
Right.
You know what I'm
I mean, he
talking
talked
about?
to the guy that ended up getting mauled by the tiger in the end of season 2. When he was over there, he was a fucking jazz singer or whatever that was in the lounge at the end. He was also the guy that was on the bridge, David Burton.
Yeah. That's the guy I'm talking about. We had a discussion.
But he got eaten by a tiger, so he got eaten by Frasier. at the end of the episode. Oh, fuck. I'm talking about the wrong episode. I'm so sorry, people.
You're talking about
I'm very
Matt.
sorry
Yeah.
for that. My bad. Spoilers there. Shit.
That's where I recognize that guy from. He was the guy who thought he was God. Okay, moving on back to
sorry
the
about
episode.
that.
Sorry, no problem.
So David Burton.
You have to cut that. Like, spoiler
I
alert.
will just cut that. I'll just cut the whole thing. It's the guy that was on the guy that was on the news. The David Burton guy that said he was in Perth and he died and he came back.
Right.
That guy. Fuck, why were we talking about that guy?
Because you I don't remember. Oh, we were just talking about going over there to see him.
Oh, right,
Like
because he
trying to,
saw
like-
him on the other side.
Right.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to
Right.
connect that dot in my head there.
Yeah.
So is he doing these dances one at a time as he learns them? Or do
Did
you think it's
see
a collective
It
thing?
was. Did you see the map he had? He had to do them all in a certain area
Okay.
and travel and walk all the way down.
So that's what he was saying by song line.
Yes.
Like they have
That
to be
was the
performed where they
song line,
are.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I don't know like what, and he missed out on the last one or something like that. Because,
Christopher's,
Right.
yeah, Christopher Sunday. Jeez, it just
Right.
popped into my head. So yeah, it's just I remarked how annoying it was how white the actor's teeth are. Like he looks so wrinkled and so like emaciated. And his teeth are just pearly
so is
white.
there was a lot of makeup then or what? Or do you think that dude actually looks like that?
No, he looks like that.
So how are his teeth so white then?
Just cosmetic. You just get them whitened. You can just go and get them lasered and whitened, or just get the bleach trays or whatever. Like
Really?
people do that, or they get veneers put on, and then boom, you can have little gnarly nub
So
teeth
he's
under there. And
so he's an actor like that, like
yeah,
where he gets paid.
he's been in other stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, I've never seen him before.
yeah. We'll have to look that up. I was talking to somebody else, or I was talking to Andy at work about that. About
I was like, oh,
him
they
being
went
in
and
other
found a
stuff.
real Aboriginal dude to talk to for this scene.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about Kevin Senior.
Oh no, I was talking about the
My bad.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. I don't know who that is. Maybe they did.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I was meaning Kevin Senior. Like he looks old as shit, but his teeth are just like pearly white, and it's just like, okay, you know what? Fuck you. I look in the mirror, my teeth aren't white. Fuck off.
So why don't you go get the laser thing?
I-
Nobody's teeth are perfect white, like
Right.
that, except for actors who got to be on TV like that.
Hence my bitching.
Right. Just I don't know. You could go get it done, I guess.
So he goes.
It's okay, I got just yellow stains on my teeth.
Right, exactly. What are you gonna do? Fuck it.
Smoking for fucking 15 years.
Right. Kevin thinks Matt wrote the sequel to the Bible until he reads it. You know. And
Yeah,
then
he just fucking tosses it in the garbage. Just
Right.
fucking totally disregards it.
just furious.
Yeah.
Now the
'Cause he
first.
thought it was supposed to be about him.
The first thing he did was he took the
Right?
money. Yeah, he thought it was going to be about him.
Yeah.
So first thing he does, though, without verifying if it's about him, is he rips a page out.
Right.
Just happened to be the page talking about Kevin being drowning and coming back to life. But that
You
that
paused it and read it?
no, that's what Grace ends up finding. That's why they drown Kevin. Because of the piece of paper that he fucking tore out. He tore the page out and he put the money that Matt gave him in it. And then he had it in his hand when he passed out at the cross.
I missed that.
Yeah, so we'll
That's why
we'll cover
they
that.
had-
Yeah,
That's why they...
that's what I said, dude. This episode is solid. I combed through it today, and it was like, holy shit! You know, it's really they nailed a lot of points here. He puts it in the National Geographic magazine
Yeah.
in front of the map of Cairo. You know, what does it mean?
Right.
God damn it! Stop teasing me with that stuff.
Cairo's that's Egypt, right?
Yeah. So Matt's son is named Noah, and
Yeah, I noticed
he
that.
finds an ark in this episode. Kevin finds an ark.
Okay.
So yeah, he's saying that Kevin Jr. is part of his story, not the other way
Oh,
around.
right. Yeah, he does find, like, these people are building what looks to be...
Yeah, a boat or an ark,
ark.
or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
and
gonna
he
work.
and he mentions the flood, and they're all like, "Yep, totally. We definitely believe in the flood thing." You know, like that was she's like,
Yeah.
she kind of smirked, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, you're on the same page as us here."
Right.
I liked him laughing and them realizing about how old Isaac was in the Abraham and Isaac story. He was 36. No, that doesn't make any fucking sense. What are you talking about? Of course he was a child. No, he's asking him to sacrifice his 36-year-old son. That could come into play. What if he thinks he has to sacrifice Kevin?
Yeah, okay.
You know?
It kills him or something.
Right.
It comes back.
But because he's listening to
The voices.
he's listening to 8-year-old Kevin tell him he's guiding him now, is what he said. 8-year-old him is what's guiding him here. It's what guided him to Australia. We'll get there in terms of like how they fucking did it, but so anyway, he steals the location of Christopher from the lady, goes over there, tells him his story. He tells him the voices started 5 minutes after the departure. Now this was interesting. He says he bought a ticket to Sydney, put on a suit, and as I'm leaving the hotel, you remember all that shit.
Yeah.
Some guy asked me if I want to speak to God, and that he wanted to check out the opera house and see Giuseppe Verdi opera. Giuseppe Verdi is the guy who plays the song in International Assassin.
Okay.
Like, those are the kind of Reddit tie-ins that I never would have come up with, but it's fucking cool.
It is cool.
That they did do that.
Right.
So the guy told him that you have to talk in God's tongue, which is interesting. An interesting way of phrasing that, because it was just called God's tongue before.
With the drug, right.
Yeah, now it's like you have to speak to him in God's tongue. That's kind of interesting. So I posit that that God did talk to him via Kevin. You know, maybe Kevin's God, if we're going with that whole thing. You know, I don't believe that anybody is at this point. I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure that everybody is delusional.
So, like, even with
I don't know about the dying.
Coming back
God.
to life, like, how did he dig his way out of the ground? Like, how long was he under there? The only person that really knows, like,
That is the grandpa.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael and the grandpa.
right.
Yeah. Okay, maybe Kevin's
So how
not
long was he
delusional.
under the ground? Like, how long would you be able to survive under the ground before you
90 seconds? I mean, maybe.
could dig yourself up?
You'd have to come right out, or else you're going to die. Yeah, I mean.
Like, he buried him completely. Like, yeah.
Right.
I don't know, man. He was
So,
dead,
He's
right?
right. I mean, he fucking was. It's one of those things where if they pull the rug on that one, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, that'll be a
You know?
little...
That'd be bullshit if
Yeah.
they're like, oh, Kevin didn't really die.
So then what was all that shit happen? Just something in his head then? Like, all the, like, singing, you know?
Well, think about it this way. Kevin Sr. is having problems with hearing stuff in his head, so maybe Kevin Jr. is going somewhere and thinking he's drowning and dying and blah, blah, blah. Has anybody seen him die?
What's his name? Shot him?
Oh, fuck, that's right. We're the one we're talking about. Duh, he has.
John shot him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that one too. Fuck, and
I don't know.
the
I mean,
poison
he wasn't.
one.
Let's just like John didn't stand there and like watch
No, but
him
he
bleed
shot him
out.
right in the chest,
He shot
yeah.
him. He's like, you shot him right in the fucking you're dead.
Well, to go back to the potential of Kevin being a god, on that train of thought, he says he only remembers seeing a chicken. Kevin Sr. says that on the TV. When he woke up from the God's tongue, or when he was on the God's tongue, he remembered the TV.
He didn't
turning on,
remember
and it was a
seeing
chicken.
Kevin?
He said no, he doesn't remember seeing Kevin. But little kid Patty called Kevin a chicken while they were in the car in International Assassin. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of depth in which this show could be fucking with us, to where maybe he is the chicken. You know, maybe Kevin, maybe he saw him as a chicken for whatever
They had
reason.
that conversation and saw him as a
Yeah.
chicken. We didn't see it from his perspective.
Right.
We saw it from Kevin's. Okay.
He did say son. He called him son.
Right.
He mentions the 14-person village that disappeared, every living thing gone except the egg that hatched 2 days later, that being that chicken. And then at request for purpose, the chicken pecked his fucking tape. So
wait.
that made him listen to the thing.
So
and it
was there more details about this chicken story?
the 14 people in the village total.
Okay.
Every animal, every living thing was departed, except for a single egg. And 2 days later, the egg hatched, and that was the chicken that could supposedly tell you whatever.
So it was an important animal.
Well, seemingly.
So there was another.
It's again, it's bullshit. It's just
There was
like
another one like that, though. There was another animal like that. Again, jumping ahead a couple episodes. The lion.
oh right, okay, yeah,
Same kind of thing.
yeah,
It was a special circumstance, and here he is,
right,
and they celebrate that thing.
right.
So, yeah, that's
yeah,
weird.
no, that makes sense. They're deifying things.
Yes,
like,
there you go. That's
like
a good
cows.
word for that, yes.
You know, like they're being deified.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, dude, like after the departure, people like there was all kinds of crazy shit that happened after, like immediately after all kinds of crazy religions
Fuck,
popped up.
dude. Think about
People had no idea what to believe. No idea.
Think
what
about
to-
Kevin Sr. This chicken is supposed to tell you blah, blah, blah what to do. He fucking says, I want purpose. And it jumps up and pecks at the tape of his son. and he puts the tape in and he plays it, and it says, it's Kevin Jr. telling him that he has to sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider to stop the rain, and it works. So like he then takes that to mean for the world somehow, and like that's I'm not sure exactly how that got him to Australia, but
how it got him to
there's
to,
also
to
an
figuring
article in
out
National
that he has to do
Geographic
the
about
rain
a
dance.
spider that likes water, or a spider that can go underwater. Just random fact found on Reddit. In that same National Geographic, there's a...
In the same one?
Yes, there's a spider...
I'm done with you.
There's a...
Are you fucking kidding me?
No!
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. There's an article in it about spiders that can go underwater. So itsy bitsy spider... Like, that's the level of meticulous thinking that went into the fucking crafting of this show. It's retarded how much effort went in. So
There's all kinds of shit like that in Lost, too.
Right. So we find out that he's been gathering the songs for 2 years. That was revelatory to me. I didn't realize he's been gone that long. Garvey? I mean, I know he's been gone for 2 seasons.
Well, it's been 7 years. It's coming up on the 7-year anniversary, right?
Right, but he's only been in... Oh, so he's been in...
he's been everywhere.
Australia for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. We're coming up on the 7-year anniversary. That was the whole deal. Like 7. Like these. Like
I'm not sure why they think 7 matters.
Because Matt gave you why they believe it religiously. You know what I'm saying? Because he says it in the first episode when he's like giving his speech outside the thing.
Okay. He just says a bunch of
7
stuff.
this and 7 that,
Gotcha.
and he was 7 years old. You know, I'm like he gave all kind of like Bible, like that number is prevalent in the Bible,
right?
In Bible stories, biblical stories.
So he ends up killing Chris, he ends up knocking him over. They go in the ambulance. He gets kicked out of the ambulance for being mouthy, and then he
just drops him out, just drops him on the side of the road. Here you go.
So he so adamantly believes he is God, while Kevin adamantly believes he isn't. You're seeing that juxtaposition there,
yes,
right?
Of course. He thinks that he's the savior,
right,
wholeheartedly, but it's probably not. And Kevin, it's like, no, it's
right. It's
I
not
can
me.
die,
yeah,
like not here.
So he's really listening to that tape, even as far as to listen to younger him say not to follow the path. So he then fucking doesn't take the road. He just walks across.
Right.
And then the gasoline guy. So again, I'm not gonna spoil episode 4, because I think that's the one where this comes up again. I'm not gonna tell you the context for it. Fuck, I already ruined that.
And that's why I said we should probably just talk about the 2.
Well, I know, but I don't have
okay.
anything on that one.
I got you.
Unfortunately. So would the guy that's pouring gasoline
They're
on
so
himself,
stand apart.
right? They are. They're
You know what
really
I mean?
different.
Like it is. It's. I get it, because it's not like you were talking about episodes 1 and 2, which were here.
Sort of. Yeah.
They weren't totally different like this one, and Matt's episode are totally fucking different.
Yeah, they're
than,
completely. It's tough to talk about
alone.
them as a group.
You're right.
So the gasoline guy, he was asked, "Would you kill a baby if it would cure cancer?" And he says that he said no. And they wouldn't accept him.
They asked her the same question.
I think they're meaning the people with the radiation machine. When he says they wouldn't take me, or they didn't take me, or whatever, I think they were trying to lead you to believe that he meant in the departure, but I think he was talking about the people that Nora's going to meet with.
Right. That makes sense.
Right? That they wouldn't take him because he answered no to the same way that she did.
She did, which is in the next episode.
So you're supposed to say yes?
That you would kill the baby?
You would kill the baby?
No, she says yes.
But they wouldn't take her.
So
Sorry.
he said no, he wouldn't kill the baby?
He said no, he wouldn't
She
kill the
said
baby.
yes.
She did say yes. Okay.
I mean,
don't remember.
it's. I know it's in the next episode, but it relates to what we're talking about.
Right.
When she has that conversation with them, she definitely answers. She says it'll kill cancer. Well, then yes.
Right.
And I nod.
Okay. Huh. It's interesting.
I'm like, listen, I haven't watched that one's even like I've only watched them once.
Right. Yeah,
I'm almost
sorry, I
positive-
don't mean to be jumping around. You're probably watching this after having already seen 4, so I hope I'm
I'm
not
almost-
spoiling anything.
I'm almost positive that she says yes. I don't. We're not spoiling anything with that
Right.
conversation anyway. They know if they watched episode 2 that she was going to meet with these people.
Exactly,
So we're not
yeah.
spoiling anything
Right.
on that direction. But like she says yes to that question. I'm almost positive.
So yeah, that made me that got me to the
So now
the
that
thing
question
where,
has been answered twice in two different ways, what's
What?
the right answer?
yeah,
Is there
I don't
another
know.
answer?
I'm not sure. It's a good question.
Okay. There's got to be another answer to it
Right.
then.
Is there a third answer to what would you do there? So, so he seems to think he's going to save the world, but he's shouting to God that he can't stop him.
That God can't stop him?
Yeah. So if he's,
Or that he can't
but
stop
maybe
God.
he's, I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards this weirdness of what if he's God?
Who?
Kevin Senior.
Like
Bear
trapped?
with me.
Okay,
Bear with
I'm
me.
bearing.
5 minutes after the departure, he started hearing voices.
Right.
What if those were prayers? What if
Okay.
God departed?
And what went into him? Or he took the position?
He took the position 5 minutes later. What if God departed? And then it was like, well, shit. You know, I don't know
Like
who
God,
would be
like,
making this
see,
decision.
my
but
brain like totally just went to like a Family Guy cartoon with God up there pressing buttons. It's like, oops!
right,
You know,
and then he
just fucking like,
disappears.
you know, a bunch of people on
And a
Earth
bunch of
disappears
people,
too.
and him too.
Right.
Yeah. But that's an interesting thought,
Right.
isn't it? What
Yeah.
Because then
I mean,
Kevin
that's
Jr. would be Jesus.
See,
the
again,
guy who died and came back to life.
We're, I think, like you said, like
It's worth
this
thinking
show,
about because of him actually
besides
dying.
Kevin,
Right.
this show has always proven
To be
grounded in reality.
Right. But I mean, you can see where he's thinking.
I get
this.
it. Yes, you can see where he's coming from.
Because like his son died and came back to life a couple times.
So now
and,
that
like,
he would think, so that's a good. I like the whole.
And what if the
those
voices
are prayers?
are
With
prayers,
like that's
dude?
a cool idea. That's a cool thing, and that's not that far fetched.
I mean, it's far fetched in the sense that I don't
He's
really
God,
believe in religion, but it's not far fetched
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
context
Now,
of this
now
show.
listen.
I believe in
Okay.
religion.
Here,
It happens.
let
It's
me
there.
ask you.
it
Like,
exists.
It exists. Let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
And I know this is
Go for it.
what if something like this happened in our world? Would
Right.
that make you question that?
I am always open to changing my
Me
opinion
too.
when new
Absolutely.
facts are presented.
Right. So I think that would be a new fact that would
Well,
lead
of
me in a
course, that
different
would be a
direction.
new thing to have to put into the equation. I can't
Even though
fathom.
still part of me would be like, there has to be some sort of scientific explanation.
Right. I would be thinking that, but
But
if they couldn't
you
ever
couldn't
prove
ever
it,
explain it. So, but these other people supposedly do have some sort of scientific explanation.
who?
The people that no one else want to
Well,
meet.
they're saying that the trace amounts of the radiation
Right.
are there, but I'm not sure.
I'm not
I don't
buying it
know.
either necessarily.
They're
like
fucking
100%.
vaporizing people.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I think like this, like the lessons that we've learned so far about besides the departure and besides Kevin, the rest of it's grounded in reality. Yes, I think that's exactly what's happening. They're
Right.
just they're toasting people.
Right. So,
So like that's actually what happened. Like God hit the wrong button and fried a bunch of people.
but again, that would be so cool if like he fried himself and then boom, it has. I
See,
don't know
but that
why it would
goes
go to
back
Kevin
but
Garvey.
See, but like even
but-
those thoughts are kind of silly, don't you think?
But the prayers,
God,
that
like
was
what-
the thing.
Like that, okay. But
Because but then in order to have that thought, you have to then extrapolate that would mean he then became God. Like you can't just go he's hearing prayers all of a sudden and not
I guess
make that connection.
I don't know. Like I'm watching American Gods right now, and it's almost like the same deal as like gods, ancient or otherwise, on Earth.
Yeah.
So it's that show's not grounded in reality. Just to let you know.
Well, when he's shouting at God, you know, and then it starts pouring, he dives on the tapes and the recorder to keep them safe.
Right.
So that's that important to him. Like I get it. I 100% get that. I film my kids every day. Like I get how I'd be
Right.
like, no, you can't take that away. That's why I upload it to YouTube. Even if all my hard drives die, I have all that. You know, it's all out there in the
Well,
cloud.
I mean-
unless YouTube gets shut down and
I
blah
was
blah.
gonna say, like, if like all your hard drives are dying at the same time, chances are there's some sort of apocalyptic event going on where the internet is no longer a thing.
So
Have you watched any of the? I'm not to jump off subject again, but have you watched any of the Silicon Valley, the most recent ones?
no,
Those are really good too.
I'm on season 3
Still
of
good
that
stuff.
still. I started
Oh, you haven't
season 3
watched-
over because I don't remember it.
Don't remember
I think
it?
I faded out around episode 4.
I gotcha. Good stuff though.
But yeah, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
still. So, I was just thinking when he dove on the tapes and then the next day when he tried to play them, he like, again, playing with the Kevin Sr. as God, he lost his son via the tapes. You know what I mean? Like he lost him. And, God could relate to that. He lost his son. It just, again, it felt like a parallel there. Again, it might be a bit of a tinfoily, reachy kind of a thing, but again, prayers. That's where that's where you're
going.
Conduit
The voices
that's
that he's
there.
hearing. I get it. I understand. But what if
that snake bit the shit out of him? He tried to fucking smack it, and it bit the shit out of him.
Yes, that was awful.
Who else got bit by a snake? The lady in the cold open of season 2. She died trying to protect her kid by taking a snake bite.
Yep.
So here he is. I mean, he's not necessarily protecting his kid.
That was one you pulled out of the air right there. That's a good one.
Right, that's not bad.
So now, we never saw that again, right?
No, we didn't go back to them.
So we won't go back to the people we saw at the beginning of this either.
Of
so
this
that
season,
was just
no, that was a one-off.
Yeah.
I think it felt a bit like Grace by the end. Grace is the lady that needs some moisturizer on her upper lip that was speaking to Kevin later.
Yeah.
I think we got a bit of... She was super religious. I don't know. I feel like maybe she's kind of paying for it the same way
she's one of the 4 horsewomen, right?
Yes, the same way that the mother in the cold open of season 3 paid for it by ending up alone.
Right.
She's alone now.
She was... No, it's been a while. Was she still alive when somebody walked up and took the baby from her, right?
Grace?
No, the cave woman from season 2.
Ah, shit. I don't remember that.
She was like dying, and then she like laying there, and the baby was crying. Or she was already dead. Somebody walked up and took the baby. I think so. Like another tribes person just walked up.
Maybe, but the baby survived, is what we're meant to believe. Either way, I don't remember what exactly happened there, but yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
So he's limping and bleeding and sees a cross to lay at the base of, as fucking "We Will Rock You" in a church chorus style is playing. That was kind of weird. So, so that's where I wrote that. Assuming Kevin Sr.'s God could he be hearing prayers? So he wakes up with a catheter. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, don't know. I visibly flinched on that one. So he calls Matt back.
That's not meant for things to go inside of.
Right, or we could be ripped out of.
Or to be pulled out of violently.
Ugh. So he talked to Matt earlier, and... What was the first conversation with Matt? He was talking about...
he wasn't a conversation. I think he was like leaving him a message or something.
No, he talked to him and he said, "Why aren't I in the book? It's not even about me. It's you made it about Kevin Jr." Okay, so he calls him back, and Matt is now wrapped up in a blanket with night sweats. That's a leukemia sickness. So it's been 3 weeks now since the last phone call at the beginning of the episode. So in those 3 weeks, he's started exhibiting the symptoms of the bloody nose and now the night sweats. So he's definitely sick again.
Yeah.
There's 8 days till the sudden departure. He's trying to get Matt to help him find Christopher, but also flippantly mentions that he threw the book away, and Matt tells him to go fuck himself.
Right.
In the same way that he told Matt to go fuck himself earlier.
Right.
So it was a nice flippity-floppity thing there coming back in. He finds him building the Ark. He finds out he killed Chris. Then he finds Grace's photo album in the freezer. And I loved when she busted him on it. And he's just like, well, I was hungry and I found it in the freezer. Okay, I was looking for food. It wasn't like he was snooping around.
Right.
He was looking
for food.
So she's been adopting children after... I don't know if they had a couple or if they were always adopting. I didn't check the first couple birth certificates, or maybe those were also adoption records.
Okay.
But they were showing them on the page when he was flipping the book through the book. One of them is this picture. So the dad, Grace's husband, is sitting there with 2 of the children, and what are they reading? Is that Noah's Ark?
Oh, come on.
I believe that is.
Wow. So now... You'll have to refresh the story, but yes, I remember this story being
of Grace's?
Yes.
So, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember the story now.
We're still with Kevin right now, and after he catches them having just killed the chief by walking out, she darts him, and he gets knocked out, and then just as he's about to tell her he's Kevin, she cuts him off and says, "I killed a man last night." He goes, He asks her name, she tells him, and then he goes, I'm Kev, and she goes, I killed a man last night. So if she had heard him say, I'm Kevin,
Right.
I think that would have dramatically changed the conversation that ensued.
Right.
I think she would have, wait, you're Kevin? Were you a police chief?
Well, he says it at the end.
Does he?
Yeah, he says you just. Well, he didn't say
No.
I'm Kevin. He says you had the wrong Kevin.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think that would have changed.
But her story was
So yes,
good.
her story was she found all of her kids and her husband's Bible at the church lined up,
Yeah.
and took that to mean they all
Had
departed. And she found all.
What
and
happened
it
was
took
is
that
the
to mean they were all
husband,
with
the
God.
husband departed.
The husband departed
But
while he was with the kids.
Yes. So the kids freaked out.
Thinking
and
she was gone
went to go try to find her, went to go survive, or went something like that, and died in the wilderness
on their property.
on their property. And she said, "I'd never even thought to go look for them."
I mean, that was
I was just
heartbreaking,
like,
dude.
"Oh."
Could you fucking imagine that? Like, that's one of the worst ones so far. Of like, holy shit. Like, Nora, you feel bad because she lost some... but
That made
they were
like,
alive.
hit
You're
you
like,
in the gut.
fuck. Because you
They
couldn't... How do you
died,
live
like,
with that? How do you fucking live with... I couldn't live with that.
No,
No
neither.
chance I could live with...
The fact that I didn't even think that I just assumed they were gone, didn't even bother to go
didn't
look
even
for them.
bother to fucking look.
Like,
And
look
if
around
you
the
had,
property.
you would have found them. And
You'd have found them.
Jesus. So
She said it was like a week or something that,
Yeah.
that she was gone before she got back and found the Bibles, and then it was like several months later that they found the bodies, or years later or something like that. They found the bodies and realized that they had died out there.
Right. So she finds Kevin Sr. at the base of the cross that she drug out there for them.
Right.
And he's got scripture written stuff in his hand. And I'm just like, this is all just random circumstance. This is all just random shit at this point.
Wait, stop.
Go on.
You said that the reason they're drowned in Kevin's is because of the page that they found in his hand while he was laying at the cross.
Right. She's explaining to him the story.
But they were already, so they went out and found a Kevin that night
Yeah.
and drowned him? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta get that timeline properly.
Right.
Gotcha.
So she's saying that she found that paper in his hand and then realized that 20 miles away there was a police chief named Kevin, and they went and got him and asked for his help, and he wouldn't help, so they drowned him to prove their loyalty.
Well, I think they were trying to drown him to see if he would come back to life.
Well, yeah, but she thought he was testing her, as she said, when he wouldn't help.
Oh, right.
You know, when he was being like, "No, what are you talking about?"
Right. That
So-
dude was a total douchebag.
But she's mad that
Wasn't
she
he?
fell. Yeah, he absolutely
Asshole.
was. She's mad that she fell for the Book of Kevin story.
Yeah.
You know, she feels duped twice by God.
Right.
I think. You know, this time again, because before she thought her kids were with God, and that was clearly not the case. They were dead in her back property, you know.
Horrible.
So he
man.
says, got the wrong Kevin. You're not crazy. Him or Kevin Jr., do you think he's talking about?
You mean the wrong Kevin?
Yeah.
He's obviously talking about himself.
You
'Cause
think
he thinks
so?
Because he thinks the book is about him.
Right.
He thinks he's the book of Kevin.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or should be, anyway.
Or should be, which you would think you would want your Messiah to
Well,
be a little more humble.
That's
don't you?
funny you say Messiah, because in a theory straight from Reddit, Kevin Sr. wants to be the Messiah, but everything he touches in this episode he destroys. Matt's book, Matt himself.
Matt.
Yeah, 3 weeks later, he's a fucking leukemia-ridden wreck. He was fine when he first spoke with him, and Mary's like, well, if you have important stuff to do, work to do, Matt, you shouldn't go to the park. She's being all snide about his bullshit. So then 3
So
weeks
did
later...
she
when
not
he
leave, or was that before she
It
left?
was before she
Okay,
left.
all right,
So
all
that's
right.
what I mean.
Little
3
time
weeks
jump.
took
Okay,
place.
Gotcha.
And she left and he got sick. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's something to Mary leaving and Matt getting sick.
Okay. Coincides.
Right.
No, wasn't he getting sick before she left, or was it like right afterwards? you
Right
said?
after she
Okay.
left, yeah. So anyway, stuff that Kevin destroyed in this episode, Kevin Sr. Chris Sunday, the suicidal man who very clearly needed a savior. The snake,
Remind me of the suicidal man.
the gas. The guy that poured gas on himself and lit himself on fire.
Yes, okay.
I think Kevin. Oh, this one says I think Kevin Jr. is a Christ figure, but Kevin Sr. is an antichrist figure.
I can almost see that,
Right?
but doesn't even know it.
No, he thinks he's
He
the
thinks
Christ
he's the
figure.
Christ figure.
Yeah, but that sounds like something an antichrist figure would say. Chris even told him that his song brings the rain, so in his quest to stop the rain, he could accidentally bring it.
Right.
Kevin Sr., if he's capable of that. You know, like he thinks he's doing the right thing, but he's doing the wrong thing.
Gotcha.
Could Kevin Sr. be thinking at the end of the episode that if he sends his son to the other side, he might be able to communicate with Christopher Sunday and teach him the fucking song?
That's what I remember thinking at the end of the episode, like taking from the episode. I was like, oh, he thinks he has to kill his son now.
Right, to go get the song. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
A cool thought.
So like you even mentioned him thinking that he would have to kill Kevin earlier in our discussion. So you're like, yeah, I can't listen. It's
right.
You know, it's what I'm saying. But at the end of watching that episode, it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I watched it. But like at the end of that episode, I was like, oh, so he thinks he has to kill Kevin. I didn't say it out loud, but in my head,
yeah,
I'm like,
that's the conclusion.
He thinks he's gonna have to kill Kevin.
It took
now.
me 2 watches
to get
to that.
Christ, Antichrist figure. Yeah, it totally lines up.
Right.
And then the apostles hanging out with.
Yeah, I mean
with,
the 4. What apostles? Oh, yeah, those. Yeah.
Matthew,
Sorry, I was thinking of the 4 horsewomen.
Matthew, John.
Can we ask why the
Michael and
Matthew?
I said Matthew, John, Michael, and
Lori.
No, there's a Matthew, John, and Michael. Maybe it's just the 3 of them.
Yeah, just the 3 of them. Right. Yeah, it was the 4 horsewomen.
Right, but
Why
the 3 of them, those are like the 3 most important apostles.
Okay.
Like when you say Christ had 12 apostles,
right.
But the 3 most important ones were, you know, might have been John, Peter, and Paul, but like Michael was right there, you know, top 5. You know what I'm saying?
So so when we were talking about season 1, episode 9, where the 4 horsewomen were in the car and pulled up to Kevin, remember we saw that? I brought up that clip. Mm-hmm. At the time, we were thinking that they were doing that because they had that piece of scripture.
Yeah.
But they didn't. We saw the timeline here. So what the fuck were they doing in America there?
They were not only in America, they weren't even in like Jarden.
Mapleton.
They were in Mapleton, New York.
Right. So why? The fuck were they doing there? I don't know.
So now is it absolutely conclusive that they only did that because of the Book of Kevin?
That they did what?
Or do you think that they had to have had some other?
You mean the drowning?
Yeah.
No, that was clearly because of that. She even says it to Kevin Sr. We found this thing that looks like scripture, and it says a police chief named Kevin has gone to the other side and can drown and come back, or die and come back. So we drowned him.
He didn't drown and come back, though. That wasn't like something that happened. He tried to drown himself.
But she just...
And an earthquake emptied the lake that he was in.
Exactly. Yeah, so...
That was in Jarden.
Yeah,
that was in Jarden. Yeah. See, that was the best season.
Oh, clearly. But
season 2.
1 set up 2. You know, without 1, 2's not...
Season 1 was good in and of itself. It was really depressing.
I was talking to Jenna about this today, about why you or I maybe weren't like super like, woohoo, let's talk about this show. I think it's the rapper, man. I think it's the rapper of this show. The context of it isn't something as fun as Game of Thrones, or you know what I mean, or even Sense8. Like, it's just not a fun kind of a thing. But god damn, is it good?
Have you watched any of that?
What?
Speaking of off subject,
Sense8,
the new season.
No, I haven't. I didn't
even watch
the
watched
Christmas
one
special.
or 2 episodes. Oh, the Christmas special was really good. But we watched 1 or 2 episodes of the new season. Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may have to watch the first
you.
season. I may have to watch the first season again.
You.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's good.
I hate when they do that, but I get
Still
it.
good. Yeah. The music for that show is good. The intro and everything. That show's awesome. Yeah.
But just like, I get why it doesn't sound like fun to come over here and talk for 45 minutes about this show, because it can be kind of a bummer feeling. But goddamn, dude, like that's some. I watched that
really,
episode
really
today.
Good.
And
I'm not saying that it's not good. And dude, like
no, but I get it. That's what I'm saying.
Like with the podcasting thing, it just. I mean, I have been like, I don't think I've ever been less motivated. Like ever
to do stuff.
I do anything.
It's like
I'm like it's so like this is totally personal, but like I'm like waiting for Farley to get back.
Is he not back?
Not till June, at the end of June. We go down and get him.
Oh, so you're just kind of on pause.
It sucks.
Or
That's what I kind of feel like, you know. Is like I want to start like doing shit. And like I guess the talking to the Cal Ripken kind of revitalized me a little bit. I didn't talk to him, Jenna did, but like that possibility being there, like I don't know, to get us started, you know.
Right.
Again, totally off subject. But
no, it's fine. I mean, whatever.
So I've just been like, even like
I get it,
even
man.
like sitting and watching TV, and like I feel like I'm just doing like a lot of times I catch myself. You know how I game. Game. I've just been like playing it. Like the headphones aren't even turned on.
Yeah.
I'm fucking just playing it without sound, just mindlessly.
Yeah.
Not, you know what I'm saying?
You're
like it's
hoping
weird.
that you're to that day when he's here and you can
Yeah,
start
it's
doing
just
that.
weird,
I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But that's being excited about something.
Yeah,
That's
I get
awesome.
it.
You know,
I
that's
know.
something to look forward
so,
to.
Yeah. I know. So if I have to like find an excuse
Right.
as to why like I haven't been like, you know, like
No,
let's podcast. You know what I mean?
think
Like I get it.
I think the reasonable excuse
that's
is
just-
the lack of it being
you're-
a fun
Obviously,
thing.
like that's part of it too. Like,
Because fuck, dude, when you
like,
saw
even
that Game of
I
Thrones
guess
trailer
even-
today,
Yeah,
were
that
you
fired
not
me
like,
up.
I want to talk about this right now?
That fired me up. Like, I wanted
We
to,
could spend a half hour talking
About
about
the
the trailer.
trailer.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Miles
How many
was
times
like,
did you watch it?
Twice. I just watched it once and then I
So-
sent it to you immediately and then sent it to Miles and then I watched it again.
Robert walks in. He was out vending, so he walked. He had been gone all day.
Spoilers for Game of Thrones. Check out here. We're done talking about.
No,
Leftovers.
I wasn't going to talk about any spoilers for the trailer.
okay.
But anyway, it was just he walks in. I'm like, dude, put your clipboard down. Go to a computer. Sit down. The new Game of Thrones trailer just came out, and he was like, oh. Disappears for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gone.
Okay.
Comes back, and he just starts dropping like details about this trailer. Like he just starts talking about shit and this and that and this. I think this is that. And this. I was like, dude, I didn't even see that. Like I watched
he
it.
went and looked
I watched
it
it
somewhere.
I said I watched it twice on my phone. He's like, yeah, I just watched it 4 times in a row. I was like, and then he probably looked up fucking
Right.
other
You go
shit
on the
about it.
subreddit and boom, you got all kinds of
But like
knowledge dropping.
it
on
was
it.
I mean, it was awesome. The trailer was awesome. That last scene of the trailer where they're fucking the horses are fucking.
The only thing
that shit is sick.
I sent it to Jimbo and he doesn't watch the show. He watched like the first episode with me, and just never continued.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
But I was trying to pause until
back.
this fucking thing loaded. He sent me this back. Look, like that's his face looking
Right.
up at the dragons.
So now is
So
he
he
in?
was like, yeah, he's like, I just got to get in the right mindset to start that, but I want to watch
Dude,
it.
it's so there's no denying it, man.
No, there isn't. Like,
There's no-
I'm almost going to recommend it to my cousin Tony, who I wouldn't think would be into fantasy type stuff like that. But
Tony Madrinian?
yeah, there's no reason he wouldn't like.
What? Like he doesn't watch like what?
He doesn't
shows?
watch a lot of TV, so
Oh.
if I'm going to introduce him to something, I want it to be worthwhile. I want it to
Spectacular.
be like, okay, this is you need
GOT's
to
a
watch
good
this.
one, but I mean that
Something
might
you get hooked on immediately.
like I haven't. There's only been a couple people, maybe
What are you
one.
watching anymore, man?
Me?
Yeah, what are you?
I mean, honestly, I've been kind of into American Gods.
Okay, how
like
many
the one
episodes are
there's
there?
4. Every episode that comes out, I've watched it probably 2 or 3
Dude,
times.
new Prison Break too.
Yeah, I've heard thumbs up, heard good things about
There's
it.
only 9 episodes this season.
I
They've
can't. I
already
won't
done
stop
6.
being able to look at Michael Schofield as Captain Cold.
You won't be able
I
to.
won't be able to not look at him as Captain. He's Captain Cold now
Yeah.
to me. He's in Captain Cold in like 2 or 3 seasons of The Flash, and now he did the whole other Defenders of the Universe thing with the.
Yeah.
It's not called that. It's the wrong title, but yeah, he's Captain Cold now. He's such a fucking dork as Captain Cold. But it's supposed to be like that. It's
Right.
he acts the part like he's supposed to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what
Real
else are you
over the
watching
top.
besides American Gods?
Sports,
Yeah.
the NBA playoffs.
Not
ESPN.
rewatching anything. I got Jimbo to watch Parks and Rec. He finished it and loved it.
You have to.
He's like, "Can I start it over again?"
Yes, you
now?"
absolutely can
And
start
he's
it over
like,
again.
"I can start it mid-season
You can
too,
start it
right?" I'm
whenever
like-
you want.
I'm like, "Yes."
You can hit play on any episode
I
you
said
want.
I said 5 times in a row I would rewatch it from mid-season 2. Then I went back to season 1. And
It was good.
It was good.
It's good.
You need to know those characters more before
Right,
you get into the
yes.
season 1 stuff better.
Better.
Ron wasn't as fleshed out. Like Aziz
No,
said,
you're right.
they did those shows in a bubble.
Yeah.
Like they just filmed the 6 and didn't have any outside input to go, "Ooh, you know what you should lean into for Ron?" Like they did 6 full episodes.
And then the season 2, when season 2 starts, I think it's her. She does the whole
the
rap and
rap,
shit, and he's
yeah.
like, "Yeah, there's people on fire down at Remington Park. They're waiting." I mean, like the show got me right at that point.
Right.
I had watched the first season and it was okay, but right at that point, I laughed so hard because that was fucking hilarious.
Right.
That like I just bought into Ron Swanson at that point, and you know what? They did set up a couple of characters. Even Ron at the beginning was almost set up
Kind of
kind
be a
of like
dick.
the bad guy.
Yeah, right.
Chris Traeger came in and was almost set up kind of like the bad guy.
He was,
like
Jimbo was telling me how much he hated
he was
Chris
going to be
at
the
first.
anti. Cause I can't say that I hated him, but no, I didn't like the fact that he was like
coming in and fucking with our world.
fucking with Leslie
That's
and
what's
Ben.
so good about
you know,
the
and
show.
They didn't
The
like
world
it. Like,
is so
but then
good.
Chris turns into such a fucking lovable character
Right.
that you can't, you can't help but love him. He turns.
Right.
I mean, he's got so many good lines, dude. At the fucking, it's like racquetball for your mouth. Like
Literally has a bunch of great lines. I literally have 1,000 great lines.
Right.
'Cause I'm pretty sure he said he had 1,000 questions. Anyway.
I literally have 1,000 questions.
We're going to be back to maybe discuss episodes 4 and 5 at one time. We'll see how it goes.
I mean,
subscribe
with
on-
how this one went, like the Matt episode might have to be discussed on its own.
Like we may just have to do one a piece, and just whenever we can get together and talk about it, we'll do it. There's no rush. It doesn't matter. They'll watch these when they watch them.
right.
And we're back on iTunes, so subscribe on there. Leave comments on the YouTube video. That's really the main place where discussion
you
could
look
transpire.
like you're on a green screen on that TV.
Well, that's because I'm just.
You look
it's
like
well
you're on a
lit.
green
You know
screen.
why? Because I have light separating me from the background.
You have
See
the
how
light
my
behind
hair
you?
kind of glows right up here?
Yeah, that's why you look like you're on a green screen.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, we don't want to look like we're inside of Once Upon a
See you
Time,
later.
dude. Let's take it easy.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.